And I want to ask you, what does this mean? Envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide. So what does this mean? And this is a beautiful quote again by Ralph. Envy is ignorance, limitation is suicide. What do you understand by this quote? Can you just type it in there in the comments box? What is it that you understand by this quote? Each one of us will have a beautiful meaning sort of associated to this. What is it that you understand of this quote? Envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide. Please type it in there in the comments box out there. I'm waiting for your beautiful comments. There you go. Yep. So I don't want to keep this session beyond 30 minutes. Every day the session is 30 minutes. Okay. So it's 5:20 now. Sorry, 15:17 now. So be creative is what Manju says. Okay. Wonderful. What else? What else? What else? Anything else that comes into your mind? When you say envy is ignorance, limitation is suicide, right? So in fact, what I'm going to get into today is how to be a creator, right? How to focus on creation. How do you create? Because it is linked to the whole definition of self-reliance and that whole non-conformity part, right? So when we're doing this, there's a lot. Everyone is unique. So envying and sorry, what is that? I envy, we ignore to look into the positive qualities of other person. Limitation, we lost ourselves and our quality. Everyone is unique. So envying and limitation doesn't help. Wow. Manpreet, you've like bang on, right? So what Ralph said, and there's a lot of research around this, Ralph Waldo Emerson, that when we do become self-reliant, like, it's an effort. All of us needs to make that effort, and you're all making the effort. Thank you so much for joining this session. You have all your priorities, but you've made this decision of joining this session. So you're making that effort. So we focus on creating rather than imitating. Okay. So as being, someone, we are not, it is just as damaging to the soul as like if you are like trying to be like someone else that you're not, it's as damaging as suicide. That's what the quote means. Okay. Having said that, there's certain things that we need to understand, and let me see if I'm covering everything here. Okay. So you have your own ground. Now this may be all lecture. Okay. But I said it will be a combination of lecture and practice, because at the end of it, we have an assignment and affirmation. Okay. Each one of us, like beautifully, put by our Meera and Upasana and others, we have our own ground, we have our own field, and we have our own way that we need to discover to till that, the way you plow, whatever you do, what is the technology you'll use, how you'll do it, it is up to you, isn't it? Because it is a fertile the ground there, or may not be, but you have your thing to make it happen for you. So, and you have your, you have to overcome your insecurities. You have to, for you to be self-reliant, it's, hard work. It's hard work. So, and there is maturity, there is intellect, you're overcoming insecurities, you will allow a person, only then you will allow yourself to be self-reliant, where there is no, so exactly what Meera has put in on this. So they are not going to envy others, but measure themselves against how you yourselves were 2 days back, right? So this is what you get, just becoming a better version of yourself every day. So there's maturity. So you're not worried about what that other person is like. There's maturity, there's intellect, and you're overcoming your own insecurities, right? So having said this, who is a creator? That's the definition out there. But what I would like to basically look at here is, who is the creator? You, me, or the one Upar wala is the creator? Who is the creator? Allahu Akbar, or whoever it is the creator. Who is the creator is my question. Ourselves, right? Upasana. So when we are saying ourselves, what we are looking at is, I said there'll be a little bit of theory. So we'll look at the theory and then we'll see what are the 3 types of creators. Like, today that's going to be the focus, that there are these 3 types and you try to recognize which type are you. Because when you focus on creating, each one of us is different, right? We have our own way of doing things. And I would love each one of you to switch your videos on. Please. Thank you, Priyanka and Upasana, for switching the videos on. The rest of you, it'd be great to have your videos on. Thank you, Amrita, so much. Yes, thank you, Deepa, and each one of you out there. Lata, thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, yes. So what I'm saying is when we focus on this 3 types is what first, creator is there, of course, it's also here. And that's what we are focusing on because that is linked to self-reliance. Creator or creating because we are all going to create. And these are the people society may be fearful of because you're doing something which is totally different from what the society really wants you to do. And everything is linked to society. Okay, from the beginning, talking about self-reliance, there is a whole angle of how Ralph has brought. So that's why it's saying voicing your opinion irrespective of social norms. Okay, so when I'm doing this, let's look into the definition. A person who invents, produces or makes things is called a creator. If you are an author, you are the creator of the characters in your book, isn't it? So having said this, these are the 3 types of creators. Did you read it? Are you paying attention? So thank you, Deepak, for joining. Shikha, Deepak, Shivi, Tripathi, Manpreet, Manju, Anusha. Please switch your videos on. Swarupa, wonderful. So Chaya. So the thing is, did you grasp it? The 3 type of creators. Did you quickly grasp? Are you taking notes? Are you going to post it in the social media platforms? Yeah. Okay. So what did you this thing grasp? Yes.
Artist,
What?
teacher, influencer.
And influencer. Look at Manpreet. Very, very attentive there. That's why she switched the video off. Okay, beautiful. So artist, teacher, and the influencer. Absolutely. So any ideas on what artists are like as a creator? And which category does Manpreet belong to? You must be having some idea of the artist, the teacher, and the influencer. So why I'm bringing this aspect is this is practical. Like, a lot of theory that I did, the practical aspect is each one of you can relate to one of it. You can relate to either being an artist, you can either so this is something to do with personalities. Like, there are certain things that are there which very naturally you are like artist, like there's a very naturally you're like an influencer. There's some certain things that are dominant. And there's very naturally like how many of you are teachers here or trainers here or coaches? How many of you? I know some of you are IT professionals. So you need to identify, given, what is it that, you are. And then, okay. So I think Chaya is a teacher, is it? So, yeah. So beautiful. So what the qualities of an artist, is really to connect with people who want it. So can you give me some, qualities of an artist out there? What do you think are the qualities of an artist, or the artist who creates? Because the whole session today is about creator, focusing on creating. So if Priya Goswami can create, Manju can create, Shivi Tripathi can create, right? So if that's the case, what is it? So Manpreet, who is the teacher? So anyone wants to disclose, what are you in the 3 types? Artist, teacher, and influencer. What are you? Anyone wants to share? And quickly we will.
Somewhat like a teacher or influencer.
Okay, so Manpreet says teacher. You're a combination of teacher and influencer, right? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Okay. So the point that I'm saying is, if you're a teacher and influencer, what are the qualities? Anyone can say this. Anyone can come out with this thing on this. Your points. What are the qualities of a teacher like creator? No, you can look at teachers, like I'm sure there must be teachers coming in your mind. What are the qualities of a teacher like creator? What are the qualities of a influencer kind of a creator? What are the qualities of an artist kind of a creator? Right? What are the traits? Can you come up with that? Visualization. So for whom is that? Is that for a teacher, a creator, or an artist? Putting life to it.
It could be for a teacher as well, because teacher connects us with the, what is going on around the country, globe, science, whatever it is. So they connect us.
They connect us, and so you're making a very relevant point. So what is it? While you're saying country around globe, there's some kind of, I'm actually looking at a very relevant word. Yes, as usual, right? Like I don't know if you've attended my sessions earlier. I mean, when I asked that question, most of them had attended my sessions earlier. So that's fine. So visual, very, very nicely put. So I'm looking at, so when a teacher kind of quality is there as a creator, there are certain aspects that are linked to being a teacher. Like, I'm not saying teacher as an English teacher. Okay, influencing is there. Yeah. So, but what else? So when you're saying connecting, what are you connecting, Priyanka? What are you connecting to the globe? What are you connecting to this thing?
They give us a vision, or they give us a vision, basically, that is how it works and all.
I'm looking at something else. Vision is there. So especially for a teacher, there is you're connecting something to a globe, to a set of students, to wherever that you go, to whatever. But what is it that you're trying to this thing, dissipate to people?
Something which they already know.
Thought, Amrita is saying already know. Okay, yeah, and they also have an expertise on it. Teachers typically have an expertise on it. They are connecting something that they already know. Absolutely.
Bringing out the talent in them.
Bringing out the talent in them. So I want to say that they're connecting knowledge and information. They have knowledge and information. This is what I wanted you to realize, that, and they're dedicated to certain principles, and it needs to be in a certain form and structure, isn't it? When a teacher is there are certain principles, they have a certain expertise, and they're trying to connect that with people to the globe, because this knowledge, that's what they're connecting, right? It can be a coach, it can be like a consultant, it can be even like a counselor. I mean, these are all teachers in a way, not necessarily, and they're paid basically for their time and for information that they are sharing, right? There is this you have knowledge and information that you're sharing, right? So if that's the case, how is it different from artist? How is it different from artist? And ladies, with your permission, am I allowed to go live on Facebook now? Are you okay? No, Chaya, you're giving me such a smile, saying, oh my God, people will see me. I shouldn't have come for this session. Okay. See, because the first day I asked you all and I went live without asking you, then I thought I should ask you. So let me know. Okay, so I'm going to ask, you just say yes, 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 no, 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 and I'm going to count and then decide to go. Go ahead, Manpreet. Thank you, Manpreet. Okay, so the point that I'm saying is that, so artists, how are teachers different from artists? Because we are focusing on creating, and that's linked to self-reliance. So each one of you need to understand what is it that will make you self-reliant, and how is it that you can create. What are you? Are you an artist? Are you a teacher? Or are you an influencer? So that you can focus on that to create. And that is sort of linked to non-conformity, because this is what people fear. This is what people fear, that you have your own thoughts, you have your own way of, implementing things. So this is something that people can fear. Okay, so 1 second, let me just go to the chat box. Yeah. And yeah, so tell me, what is it, how is it different for a this one teacher as opposed to artist? None of you are telling me about artists. Come on. So it's like 5:30, another 10.
Artists,
Yeah, so
they are
Upas
like,
brings out all
they
kinds
have
of
their
emotions. Okay. Mm-hmm.
their own way of different unique way of imagination and creation.
Yes. So these are people
It's
who
not
are,
necessarily they are imparting what they know like a teacher does, but they are
yes,
creating their own space
they're
of
creating, yes, beautiful, creating their own space. So these are people who are, really attracted to newness, always want something new. They need to have a project. They need to, so if there is nothing going on there, they rather create another one rather than earning money with whatever they already have. I'm bringing the angle of money. So they'll keep creating. So they'll keep, because for them, they become very prolific. Like you want more and more and more of creating that because the newness. Okay, so that's the thing about, so some new ideas that captures their attention. The problem with them is they could be distracted all the time. So they need some people to like sort of, sort of align those energies. Could be spouse, could be friend, and they will do very well. If they want to create an enterprise around that, they could. Okay, teachers also, since they have principles and structures and knowledge and information to share, they can definitely create an enterprise around that, right? Because consultants, coaches, all this all comes around this thing. Creators, what are influences and takes liberty to create their content and pass on the information. So yeah, Priyanka, so this is about teachers, right? Are you talking about teachers? Yeah. So while I'm saying this, now the final thing that we need to know here is the influences. How are influencers different from?
influencers need not be necessarily experts, but they have the skill to, based on their experience, they have the skill to influence somebody's decision making about
Wow,
anything.
I like the word their experience, Manpreet. So that's what it is. So they are willing to share their stories, okay, and people respect their opinion for some reason. You have, and in today's world, you have these YouTubers, you have so many people. The person is so young, but you start following them. Somehow you respect their stories and you're able to relate to that. And they are willing to share their stories to the world. So they are influencing, and people respect them. Okay, so these can be authors, public speakers, whatever it may be. 1 second, let me just. Okay, so these could be authors, public speakers that you can. Sorry, something that happened here. Yeah. Okay, so this is what we need to understand. Okay, so having said this, let me actually tell you, bring certain points right. I'm going to run through it very quickly. Okay, this person who makes things, so what is the important is novelty for them is their friend. They need to be prepared to discover themselves through their work and be ready to find someone who can, sometimes their energies can get very distractive. Okay, they're when art, and they can get angry, because they're not making things. So who is an artist? You want to share? Anyone who's an artist here? Manju Ansha? Okay, yes. So this is what it is about artists. So simply, okay, let me go ahead with the teachers. So this is a person who teaches how to make things. Of course, they too are creative, but their primary work is sharing with others how to do what they themselves already know how to do. So there is expertise they have, right? And their life is dedicated to leading others down a proven path, proven principles. Structure is there. Right? So they can work with others who can help you get your work out into the world, and even those who can help you package it maybe also be useful. So this is very important. The third, sorry, this is not, yeah, sorry. So influencers, the third thing that there's a lot of content here. That's why I didn't want to bring in the slide so much, but the influencers, this is a person who's, as I said, is a point of view is respected by others. They need not have an expertise. They somehow influence through their own stories. They have strong opinions, and we care somehow about those opinions because they are open to share about their stories, and you connect with them. Okay, you know, that's why you have all these YouTubers, you know, the Kardashians of the world, Kim Kardashians, and you know, of the world, they're celebrities. Somehow you are able to connect because they come up with their own stories. Not only them, there are other influencers like, you know, corporate influencers that you see who are there out there, right? YouTube vloggers off late in this COVID sort of digital world that is happening beautifully. Okay. Okay, now time for the assignment. How many of you have taken notes?